Assalamualaikum. FCB20603 Heating and Cooling Load. We look at first the purpose of design cooling load calculations. The first thing we see that outside weather condition and the sun combine to produce a cooling or heating load through the building envelopes. The load depends on first, a thermal characteristic of the walls, roof, fenestrations, and opening in the surface of a structure, floor, interior building furnishings, and construction, and the driving force resulting from the difference between the outside conditions, including solar, and the inside condition. For example, the heat transferred through a roof depends on the temperature of the top surface of the roofing, the temperature of the inside surface of the ceiling, how these temperatures vary with time, and the energy storage characteristic of the roof. The temperature of the outside surface depends on the ever-changing solar radiation absorbed by the surface. A similar analysis of the inside surface shows that the surface temperature depends on the amount of heat conducted from above and convection occurred to the inside air. The radiation exchange between the surface and room furnishings and internal sources. Therefore, the heat flow through the roof construction will not be constant. This same phenomenon occurs for all other surfaces subjected to radiation effects and variable temperature environments. Under the conditions described above, the amount of insulation and the thermal mass of the roof, wall, or partition are critical in the heat transfer analysis. The heat transferred through transparent surfaces, such as glass, is more a function of the thermal radiation characteristics of the glass and less dependent on the thermal storage capacity of such materials due to very low mass and absorptance of the material. The heat gain due to lights, people, and equipment is independent of the outdoor environment and is a function of occupancy and operating schedule. Again, radiation effects are involved, and the thermal storage characteristics of the surface are important in estimating the cooling load. Design load calculations provide the basic data for selecting an HVAC system and equipment, and also provide the basic for sizing the associated ducts and piping. This data should be computed from times of peak load as well as partial load. Analysis and study of this condition may then indicate possibilities for load reduction or other refinements of the system. It is usually desirable to carry out extensive load calculation for several different hours of the day or all 24 hours if the system is too complex, such as a large variable air volume VAV system. Further, it may be necessary to make calculation for 2 or more months. On the other hand, a small building using unitary equipment may require load calculation for only the time peak of day. This is the example of the load, the heat gain in the building, from lights, Q lights, from people, Q people, from partition where The other place is no aircon. For equipment, for example, computer server room, from floor where the below floor is no aircon, Q infiltration, Q wall, Q glass, and then Q glass solar radiation.